What's up, Jack? What's up, man? Good to have
How's
you
it
on.
going? Hey,
Man,
thank you guys for having me.
absolutely, absolutely. We're doing great. A little sunburnt, but it's all good. It's all good. Looking forward to this interview, man. We really appreciate you joining in and willing to answer our questions, and our fans are looking forward to asking you questions as well. You're a pretty guy here recently, pretty popular guy here recently, Jack. I mean, you got some interviews and stuff. What's that been like?
It's been really cool. It's part of the reason you come to LSU, or why I came to LSU, was just kind of play in front of uh the fans that just love and love their Tigers, and the environment at Alec Box is just something that I heard is unmatched, and I can't wait to experience it.
Oh man, I mean, let me tell you, back in 2017, the year LSU made it to the finals, we went and we caught a few games in the box, and I'm telling you, man, it's unmatched. It is no comparison. LSU fans love their sports, and I can't wait to for you personally to get to experience that. So Jack, coming out of Baylor this past season, uh, real quick though, for an ignorant redneck, is it Pineda? Pineda?
Pineda.
Pineda.
Pineda. Okay.
Yes,
Jack
sir.
Pineda. Okay. Thank you. Oh, I mean, we were talking about that earlier, and I was like, I don't want to say it like some idiot and then look dumb. So I was like, I'll just ask him. But
No, you're
Pineda.
good.
Good deal.
Yes, sir.
Good deal. So you actually got to play LSU this year, and y'all got the best of us. So
Mhm.
what was that like? I mean, out in Houston, playing at Minute Maid and at the Astros Stadium. How was this past season for you, for Baylor, and now this transition into LSU?
Yeah, I think that well, first off, Houston was just incredible in playing against LSU, and this all three teams there were really good, and it definitely made us better. But we kind of underperformed this year at Baylor, and expectations just weren't met, and so that was something that coming to LSU, I wanted to go somewhere where the expectations were high, and kind of Omaha was the standard, and that's certainly what LSU is.
You got a question?
Well, I was going to say, Jack, I know you've been in several interviews, so I'm sure you've answered this question before. But for our listeners, when did that decision to say, hey, I think I'm going to transfer, and of course, it being ultimately LSU?
Yeah. Well, originally at Baylor, we had a coaching change, and so there was a little bit of uncertainty about who was going to get the job, and I kind of put my
Gotcha.
name in the portal to have some options, and then Coach Johnson actually recruited me at a junior college a little bit, so he was the first one to call me and reach out, and we just developed a pretty good relationship, and I felt
Yeah.
got a good feel for him and the program and the team, and where they were headed, and um, by the time I committed, it was just something that I couldn't wait to be a part of.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, we're glad you're here, man. We really are. Um, so we've heard and seen that you've had a connection with a previous Tiger, a
Mhm.
legend who actually plays for the Houston Astros, Alex Bregman. Talk about that a little bit. I mean, did that have any influence on the decision to be a Tiger? I mean, have you talked to Alex about it any or?
Yeah, not so much during the recruiting process, but the love that I saw him get when he played there, and just how much fun he had, and how just the whole LSU community embraced him. That
Yeah.
I remember watching that growing up, and that certainly had an influence on it. And he earned every single thing that he got there, and it's something that I'm just really looking forward to.
Obviously, his defense was phenomenal at LSU. I'm sure you remember the 360 play that everyone does. You know, coming into LSU, obviously we know that there were the struggles there during the season with defense. Was that one of the biggest things that Jay Johnson talked to you about? Was the
Yeah,
defensive side of your game?
yeah. I mean, he definitely wanted me to come in and um, just kind of continue that defense that I've had, and I think it was something that certainly put me on his radar.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. My question is, we saw obviously you had a visit with I mean, you came to Baton Rouge and had a
mhm.
visit and everything. And that's part of the recruitment process. Did that visit kind of sell you? I mean, were you able to go and see some things? And is that what sold you, or were you already sold coming in and that just solidified even more? How was your visit?
Yeah, yeah, I will say there was a school that came in late that kind of made the decision a little bit harder, but LSU was
Okay.
kind of on the forefront for pretty much the entire recruiting process. And then when I came to Baton Rouge and saw everything, it just fell in love, and I knew it was the right place.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, guys, make sure you're throwing in your questions there. If you have any questions for Jack, please throw them in there. I don't know if I see any quite yet,
We do
but
have one from Tiger Den Sports.
okay, go ahead.
Jack, obviously you played shortstop at Baylor. Tiger Den Sports wants to know, is this your best position, or do you have another favorite position that you like to play?
Yeah. I prefer shortstop. I think that um, from a results standpoint or just comfort, I think I get the best read on hops defensively when I play short. But with that being said, I'm not uncomfortable at other places on the infield. So
Awesome.
Gotcha.
So, Jack, since you've now made your commitment and it's been a little while, have you been able to talk to any of the current players? Have you been able to make connections with them or any of the coaches?
um, well, it's just Coach Johnson right now, but
Just
um,
Johnson right now.
uh, a couple guys have reached out, and it's been good to kind of hear from them. And so I'm just looking forward to it, and I think that the goal throughout the team, which I really like and appreciate, is that everyone's kind of got their mind on Omaha, and that's exactly what I wanted. So it just, each day I just get more and more excited.
How much hype is building for just yourself now that you know? I mean, LSU yesterday added Tommy Tanks, and added Christian Little, and of course, you know there'll be more coming as Jay Johnson is hitting the portal hard. How much excitement is growing within you that now that you've found out some other guys that are coming along, and knowing that there will be more as well?
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. I mean, you just look at it and you see it on paper and see what those guys did, and then kind of throwing myself in that mix too. It's
For sure.
excited, and I can't wait to see like what the damage that lineup is going to do is, and it just gets you excited for getting on campus, and then the season can't start soon enough.
For sure, man. I mean, and dude, you hit plus 300 this season. I mean, you're adding that on top of bringing in Tommy, on top of Dylan Cruz, on top of Trey Morgan, on some of the young guys like Josh Pearson. I mean, I have to agree with you, man. It's going to be a stacked lineup.
So
It's
go ahead, man.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah, it's super exciting, and I think it's kind of one of those things that's gonna be pick your poison because there's no one, you know, someone's gonna come out and beat you every day, and you can't try and let all 9 guys not beat you. So it'll
Yeah,
be interesting to see how people attack us, and then I'm just excited for kind of the show that's gonna happen at the box.
yeah. So, Jack, obviously, I mean, portal aside, the current LSU roster has some elite talent. I mean, guys like Dylan Cruz. Dylan Cruz, I mean, is a type of guy who could potentially be the number one pick of the draft, and Trey Morgan as well at first base. I don't know if you've watched Trey Morgan play first base much at all, but there is no question in anybody's mind that Trey saves a lot of errors. I mean, he saves so many errors throughout a season. I mean, it's just absolutely unreal. He has to be one of the most athletic first basemen I've ever seen. And this being a baseball player, a lot of times your first baseman's just your big thumper, and you put him over there to catch balls coming in. So it's a different type of first baseman, having an athletic first baseman like that. What does it do for an infielder like you, a shortstop, confidence wise, having a guy like Trey Morgan over at first base?
Yeah, I was really fortunate to play with another really good first baseman at Baylor, in Chase Wesner, but I mean, it takes a lot of pressure off, like you said, about you almost just have to worry about fielding it, and then the throw takes care of itself because you know that if you just get it anywhere close, the guy's going to be out, and it's a huge kind of like sigh of relief every time you go over there, and hopefully I don't have to make him work too hard, but I know he's got me if something doesn't go as planned.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, countless times. I mean, we've seen him stretch out and pick balls. I don't think anybody other than Trey Morgan could pick. But Jack, so oh man, the question just slipped me. I had another question for him. It just slipped my mind. But any more? I think Al has one in
Al
here.
Landry said, "Ask Jake."
Jake.
Jack. Yes, Jack. It's Jack. Let Jack know he will get some Landry jambalaya next season. So there you go.
Man.
I mean, the fans
I'm
are
looking forward to that.
Louisiana, man. Have you had jambalaya yet?
Had some Louisiana cuisine?
Yeah.
I have not. I've had some Cajun food, but I haven't had Cajun food in Louisiana. So I heard it's different when you get there.
It's definitely different. It's definitely different, and it's something you should definitely be looking forward to. It's going to be awesome. I do remember my question now, Jack. There's it seems to be, obviously we have Jordan Thompson on our roster.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Thompson, he had a tough year, but I mean the year before he was an elite defensive player, and this year he was very clutch at times. And I think personally he still has that elite defense within him. I think he battled an injury supposedly that people didn't know about, and there's also rumors, Jack, that a guy like Josh Day may be coming in, that there's some connections made there. So potentially some competition at the shortstop, position with you coming in, Jordan already being there, potentially some other guys. What does that do for a program to have competition at kind of the captain of the infield, right? The captain of the whole field, correct?
Yeah.
What does that do for a team? And I mean, what does that mean for you coming in to a position where you're going to have to fight for that spot?
I think the biggest thing it does for a team is it just makes people better. I mean, you're just going to push each other each and every day. And then with that being said, it shows you that you've got to show up to work each and every day. And you do that enough times in the fall that the spring just hits, and you've been doing it for an entire semester, and you go out there and now you're playing 4 games a week, but you're just showing up every day and giving it your all. And that's something that I really look forward to. And, I went to LSU I'm going to LSU to play and go to Omaha, but at the same time too, I'm going to get better. And that's how you get better, is you surround yourself with guys who are as talented and work just as hard as you. And then hopefully we just lift each other up, and it just becomes fun to watch, and we have the best infield in the country.
I mean, competition breeds champions, right? And
Absolutely.
you expect that out of your players.
Yep. I think we have 2 comments here we want to throw up for you. Zach, go ahead.
All right, so Justin Broussard says, ask Jack to talk about the slide into home where he levitated.
Yeah, that was really cool. It was something that kind of in the moment it just happened, and then I got my phone after the game that day, and it was kind of blown up, and it was something that was really cool. And then looking back on it, I'm kind of like, oh my gosh, I actually did that, and I couldn't tell you how I did it. So
it's like kind of like I guess I'm more athletic than I thought I was.
Exactly right.
That's awesome, man. All right, Cody's got a question for you. He said, ask Jack, what kind of drip will you be bringing to the team to help make them better?
Well, I hope I just bring a kind of a certain level of confidence that just helps us in kind of that swag and that borderline like cockiness, confidence right there. And then,
For sure.
We'll see what happens. The drip. I got some things up my sleeve, and hopefully I can get a little bit creative with the
they had the boom box.
I
Did you get to
saw
see
that.
this
Yeah,
past season?
I saw that. So we'll
Crunk
see.
ain't
I
dead.
mean, we've got some time to think about it, and there's a lot of guys on the team with some drip, so I'm sure we can come up with something pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, Jack, they're wanting to know your Twitter handle. If you would let them know your Twitter handle, and also I guess your Instagram as well, or anything else you wanted to, so they can go follow you and hit you up on there.
Yeah, so you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at one Jack Pineda. So the number 1 and then my name, Jack Pineda.
Good deal, good deal. I'm not gonna lie, Jack. This past season, I wasn't a great friend of yours. I wasn't a great friend of yours watching that game. But now you're a Tiger, and obviously we're really looking forward to see you in a Tiger uniform. We're pumped about it. We really appreciate you joining in, man, answering all of our questions. We'll definitely have to do this again, maybe closer to the season,
Definitely.
maybe during next season as the hype continues to build around what Jay Johnson is doing. So one quick last question for you to wrap it up. Obviously, baseball is your thing, right? So what is one thing outside of baseball that which you would say is your hobby or you like to do outside of baseball?
I love to play golf. So,
Love to play
you
golf.
know, yeah, go out there on the links a couple times a week during the summer. In the season, we kind of throw them away. But yeah, golf has kind of been my thing, and I definitely need to get better.
Hey, look, I'm sure you're better than me, Jack, because all I do is dig holes whenever I try to go out there and play. That's why I stick to disc golf. You know, I can keep it in the air, not have to worry about nothing. But Jack, I got one last question for you, and then we'll let you go, man. So obviously, right now, Ole Miss and Oklahoma, they're playing in the College World Series Finals. Last we checked, Ole Miss was winning 4-0. What's up? Still 4-0. Still 4-0. Do you got Ole Miss winning it all, or do you think Oklahoma's going to take it? I know they're down right now, but what's your opinion on that?
I don't know if people will believe me, but this was my final that I predicted. I mean, I think that they were the 2 hottest teams coming in, and I don't know. We played Oklahoma this year, being in the Big 12, and it's a completely different team than when we played them. And they got us in a series, but the way that they've just kind of taken off at the second half of the season has been something that's fun to watch. But I think now that I'm a Tiger, I got to go with a little SEC bias.
There you go.
There you go.
Well,
That's right.
They're late. They're having a pretty good game so far. 4-0. Tim Elko's hit two bombs in the game, so pretty impressive so far from him.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, Jack, we sure do appreciate you joining in. We'll have to do it again. We appreciate you answering all our questions. Y'all go follow him on his Twitter, his Instagram at one Jake Pineda. Appreciate you joining in, man. You have a good one.
Hey, thank you guys for having me.